Alrighty. I'm Ryan, and this is a PSP 3000. And just like the PSP 1000 and 2000 before it, it has a power switch in the bottom right of the unit, right here. And this power switch has 3 positions. It also functions as a hold switch. So if you push this downwards, the unit goes in a hold, and none of the buttons work, which is really handy. It's exactly what you want. However, here's the issue. When you go to turn off hold, if you just push it up, the unit turns off. Because you've overshot the detent and you've hit the power switch and now the unit's off. So that's the first issue. Every time you turn off hold, you have to be really, really careful and just turn it off like that without overshooting. The second issue is that if you have larger hands and you hold the unit like this, if you're playing a game with a lot of shoulder buttons input, like Gran Turismo for example, or MotorStorm that uses this as an accelerator, and you accidentally squeeze the unit too hard, the unit turns off. And that's just due to the positioning of the power switch. The earlier units also had a Wi-Fi switch on this side, and it was really easy to do the same thing over here, but Sony actually moved the Wi-Fi switch up top for the PSP 2000 and 3000, so this no longer happens, but they just never bothered to move the power switch for whatever reason. So that's fun. To fix these issues, I wrote 2 custom firmware plugins for the PSP. The first one is called KillSwitchHold. And like its name suggests, it kills the power switch when you disable hold. So I'm just going to reset the device right now to load that plugin up. Typically, you just enable this plugin in the VSH, or aka the XMB. So now that we're back, hold. No more shuts the PSP down. So when hold is disabled, the power switch is disabled for 300 milliseconds just to prevent that accidental overshoot. And if you just try to power the PSP off normally, it works perfectly. The second plugin is called KillSwitch. And typically you enable this for games only. So when you're in a game, this plugin activates. And to demonstrate this, I'm just going to load up Gran Turismo. So what KillSwitch does is it just completely disables the power switch entirely. So now when you're in a game, nothing happens. And you can see that when I'm pushing the power switch, it blinks the light to let you know, hey, you're pushing the power switch. And the reason that's important is that the console will still go to sleep if you hold this for 10 seconds, because there's a forced power off mode that's sort of like built into the hardware that the plugin can't actually disable. But hopefully you'll see this flashing light if you're accidentally holding the power PSP like this, and you'll be able to see that, hey, I've got to let go of the power switch. If you do want to shut down the PSP normally, there's a magic key combination. All you have to do is hold the home button down, and then the power switch will just turn the PSP off normally. And it comes back. One final thing. Any plugin that disables the power functionality, there have been plugins in the past that have done similar functions to this. You have to be really, really careful because compatibility is an issue. So other things can turn the PSP's power off. For example, the dock and the remote. So if you just have a plugin that completely disables the power and you go to turn this off with the remote, the PSP will crash. It actually puts the PSP into an infinite shutdown loop where it is attempting to shut down constantly, and it can never shut down, so the PSP will crash. If you do everything properly though, and you only disable sleep when the power button's pushed, the first-party dock, external devices will allow the PSP to shut down normally. And this also doesn't affect the VSH's, or sorry, the XMB menu's built-in automatic time shutdown period. So I've tried to keep the compatibility as high as possible. It only blocks sleep when the power button is actually pushed. That's about it. So I'll put the link in the video description to GitHub. There's a releases page. I think the latest release is 1.3.0. Any feedback is appreciated, both on the code and the functionality. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.